Western Australia's federal court has slapped a very hefty fine on major Perth-based egg producer Snowdale Holdings after being found guilty of misleading consumers over their free-range eggs. Now, Snowdale is a major egg producer in WA. It supplies Coles and Woolworths, and we're joined by our Sky News Perth reporter Nicole Hamer, who's been in court today. Nicole, how big a fine are we talking about?
An extraordinary amount. They will have to pay and fork out more than $1 million. Here at the Perth Federal Court this morning, they were fined $750,000 as well as ordered to pay $300,000 in court costs. This is an extraordinary amount. The Humane Society International says it is the largest amount of its kind in relation to a breach of this nature. They say the last highest recorded amount was $300,000. Now, this all came about after the ACCC launched court action. It was also heavily lobbied for by the Humane Society in relation to Snowdale Holdings operations at Carabooda and in the Swan Valley. Now, it was alleged that at those two farm properties, they had 18,000 chickens on each of those properties. Now, under national standards that was introduced last year, in order for a company to claim the free-range status, chickens must have regular access to outdoors as well as have no more than 10,000 chickens per hectare. It was also alleged that at these properties in Carabooda and in the Swan Valley, the sheds were heavily overstocked with chickens because there was only one narrow exit point to lead out into that outdoor areas. Now, you can imagine 18,000 chickens trying to get in and outdoors into the free range area through one narrow exit point. It would have been incredibly difficult. This process has taken quite some time. It's been a few years of court action. They were found guilty in May last year, and it hasn't been until now that the penalty has in fact been handed down. The courts were hoping that the two parties would be able to negotiate amongst each other and agree on a penalty. That didn't happen. It's been more than 12 months, and today Snowdale Holdings was slapped with a $750,000 fine and will also have to fork out the $300,000 in court costs. Now, we did hear from the Humane Society earlier, who of course have welcomed this news here today.
It's a wonderful thing because, you know, to have a penalty for the past is one thing, but to restrain future transgressions of this kind are another. The penalty really shows that the courts are taking this sort of thing seriously, and misleading and deceiving your customers, as Snowdale has done for over a decade. This hearing only covered a couple of years, but they were trading long before that.
And as we heard there, Snowdale Holdings will also have to take part in a compliance program. I must mention, though, that its owner, Barry Cocking, continues to deny any wrongdoing. Helen?
All right, Nicole Hamer, thank you so much for that update outside the court in Perth.